Hello and welcome to Sports Today from Tokyo. Uh, 24 hours to go. Exactly 24 hours. What is the time now? Clocking 8:30 p.m. Exactly 24 hours from now, the Olympic opening ceremony will be on. This is such a different feeling. This is my fourth Olympic Games. I've been doing the opening ceremony every single time. The excitement ahead of an Olympic opening ceremony is tremendous. But this time round, things are so very different. So very different. Let us first start as to what happens. Let me give you a first-hand impression of what exactly happens when you land in Tokyo and why there is so much apprehension. Now, we landed in Tokyo at around what 5:30 a.m. in the morning. By the way, I'm still in my room, and you can understand that I'm in quarantine. I'm still in my room and in quarantine, and my quarantine ends tomorrow, so I should be able to go out from day after morning. So that's the rule. Anybody traveling from a red country, and there are 14 countries in the red list, which includes India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, all these countries which are in the red list. You have to take uh, COVID tests every single day for the first 8 days, including the arrival day, and then every 4 days. So our flight landed at the Haneda airport at about 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And one must say it was extremely well organized. So we get off the plane and people were holding placards saying OCHA. There is an app called the OCHA app. The OCHA app is something that we have had to download in India itself. It is the health app. All of your existing health parameters, whether it's temperature, whether it's pulse, and whether you have any symptoms, any kind of uneasiness, everything has to be entered in the OCHA app. All your documents, your negative COVID tests, and once that OCHA app is ready, then you can go with that OCHA app. If you have it downloaded with all this information there, you can proceed directly. You can proceed, get Rahul in also, Ashish. You can proceed directly for the COVID testing. Once you finish the COVID testing, and Rahul Rawat, my colleague, is also in, and I will ask Rahul as well. There's Rahul. So once you finish the COVID test, see, Rahul is in his hotel, I am in mine. This is the most bizarre world. Neither of us can meet each other because we are still in quarantine. Rahul is enjoying his food, and what he is doing, I have no control over also. So that is the problem. I mean, I thought I will bully him in Tokyo or he will bully me. Nothing of that is possible because वो अपना होटल में है, मैं अपना. But Rahul, ये completely अलग सा दुनिया है. Tokyo 2020-21. I have opening ceremony exactly 24 hours to go. But सब डरे
Exactly.
हुए कि क्या होगा? What is going to happen? Your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I'm sure as viewers would be already aware that only just 28 athletes will be representing India at the opening ceremony. But as far as this quarantine is concerned, so often we criticize our athletes, cricketers. When the IPL bio bubble was breached, when Rishabh Pant tested positive, they've been in quarantine. They've been in a bio bubble for close to a year and a half. Now we realize how difficult it is actually to remain in a bio bubble, to remain in a quarantine. It is actually very, very difficult, stuck in a hotel room, and keep calling people for stories, for news. In fact, hundreds of conversation, hundreds of calls we exchange every day with between among each other. So yeah, very difficult.
So, in the opening ceremony, Rahul, you and I both broke the news that India finally sending a contingent of 28. Again, something that I started this on Sports Today yesterday, that we shouldn't do this. I mean, you try to protect your athletes. Your thoughts on that? I think it's a prudent call not to expose many Indian athletes. I mean, I would have been happier if it was even a smaller delegation, but 28 is still okay. But you do not want anybody to get infected. So, this is a good call. Your thoughts?
And absolutely, and it's very good that even our athletes are aware of the fact and the risk that is involved while going for these kind of events or opening ceremonies. So because the IOA had kept 50, there they had restricted this
Yeah.
number to be 50. They had sent out messages to all the athletes, whoever was available, whoever is here in Tokyo, and only 28 athletes actually agreed or gave their consent to participate in the opening ceremony, which means that your athletes are aware, they know what their job here is, and what their priorities are.
चलो भाई, पूछ लेते हैं आपसे. कल दीपिका and Atanu are starting their journey in the individual ranking round, and day after, when you and I are able to get out of prison, we will head straight. Uh, you know, uh, uh, we we will head straight to the venues. Your thoughts on the first day? Mirabai Chanu, Atanu and Deepika in mixed, Saurabh and others in shooting. Are you giving me a medal on day one and making this Olympics of us both a success or not?
Absolutely, I am. In fact, I am very, very excited for that particular date, 24th of July, because of course you mentioned about Deepika Kumari competing in the individual event. Yes, tomorrow, and Atanu Das, her husband, would also be competing along with two other archers in the men's individual event. But it's not a medal round, so hopefully they should qualify for the ranking round, where tomorrow just the rankings will be decided. All the 64 archers in fray, they will compete against each other depending on their performances. The seedings will be allotted, and thereafter how things will turn
But
out.
you would
But
want a good ranking, Rahul, so that you get an easier opponent going forward.
exactly, absolutely. And we are expecting, after all, Deepika Kumari is world number one, so she should get a good seeding there, and she should get a good ranking there, and so that, as you mentioned, she gets a fairly easy competitor in the next round. But 24th of July, I'm very excited, because you never know. Hopefully, your very first day will set the tone for things to come. We were in fact discussing this. Data and technology, what do you call, company or website, Grace Note, has declared or predicted that India would win 19 medals in these Olympics. I think it's a very far-fetched idea, but still you can still achieve maybe a double figure, maybe 10, but that would all depend on that first day. How your mixed doubles team, mixed team in archery would perform, how Mirabai Chanu performs, how Saurabh Chaudhary, Abhishek Verma performs, how Ilavenil and Anju, rather Apurvi perform in the 10-meter air rifle. So you have four finals to be played on that particular day. My guess, maybe two at least. Would be very
Shankar.
happy.
So then
Yeah.
first day you are getting ice cream from me. 2 medals. Done. On air. Commitment. I mean, no debate. But who are you giving it to? I'm giving one to Mirabai Chanu. If she doesn't freeze, you and I were talking in the afternoon, there
Yes.
is a very real chance Mirabai Chanu should give us a medal.
Yes, because as you said, if she doesn't freeze, just like what happened in Rio, and we all know what happened after Rio. She came back to India from the airport. She didn't go back to her home. She went out to somebody else's place. Somebody actually uh, took her, asked her to come to his place, and his wife used to take her out for shopping, because it was difficult, very difficult to console her. And it's right time, it's time, and how she's prepared. She was a world champion in 2017, then currently a world record holder. Uh, because shooting, you never know what happens in the finals. Archery, you never know what happens in the finals. So she is a very strong contender. Only four weightlifters in the world have lifted a combined weight of more than 200 kgs, and Mirabai is one of them. And the other three are two Chinese and one North Korean. North Korean, as you know, is not participating in these games, and only one Chinese can participate or compete in one particular event. So that means Mirabai Chanu has more than just a decent chance.
You've interviewed Mirabai. Both of us have. I mean, she's got a great story. Tell my viewers. I mean, what an incredible story that is. I mean, to carry wood on her head, 22 kilometers from Imphal. You go for it. Tell my viewers the story. This is what real India is, Rahul.
Absolutely. All these athletes coming from different parts of the country. Mirabai, somebody from south, somebody from north. Every athlete has a story. As far as Mirabai is concerned, when she was very young, she would go with her family members. In fact, the people or women from the village would go out, uh, to collect logs, to collect those wooden logs, to cook food, for everything. And Mirabai would pick up some very heavy wooden logs, and people would often tell her that you shouldn't do this. But she said, I used to enjoy. I don't know why, but I used to enjoy. Maybe it became a matter of pride for me that I could lift that much weight. So she said, her mother was very supportive. Because, and also she comes from a family where sports is encouraged. See, despite the fact that she comes from northeast, but still, her mother saw that potential in her. She got her into weightlifting, and look where we are at the moment.
Rahul, I was reading these sort of tweets from these states that Haryana it will be so and so, Tamil Nadu so and so. What will this mean for the Northeast? Mirabai Chanu winning this, maybe the first medal for India if that happens at an Olympic Games from the Northeast. Kiran Rijiju will go bonkers. I mean, no question. It is his medal. I mean, he's done a lot for Indian sport in the last 4 years. Kiran Rijiju, if you're listening, great work. But what will it mean for the Northeast, Rahul?
Well, we all know, how many people, how many athletes from northeast have won individual medals. Mary Kom,
That's about it.
uh, I think she's the only one.
Yeah. I
if
mean, I don't
if
remember anybody else from the Northeast winning an individual medal.
No,
No,
even I don't,
because
even I can't remember.
Kashba Jadhav,
See,
no, Leander, no, Karnam, no, Rathor, no, Abhinav, no, Sushil, no, Vijender, no, Gagan, no, Vijay Kumar, no, Yogeshwar, no, Sushil, no again, Saina, no, 16,
Mary,
Sindhu and Sakshi, no, only Mary.
absolutely. So we can very well imagine what she will do for that entire region, not just from where she comes from, but also for the entire region. These are the athletes who actually become inspiration. Now, see, we are talking about, talking about, we always are speaking as if Haryana is the school, is the nursery from where athletes come from. See, when did this happen? It started happening in 2008, when so many boxers from Haryana, from Bhiwani, they made it to the quarterfinals. Akhil, Vijender, Jitender, all
Jitendra.
these boxers. And so suddenly we realized how much potential we have in states like Haryana, Punjab. Now, once you have somebody like Mirabai Chanu, who wins a medal, comes from a very humble background, 22 kilometers away from Imphal, as you said, and she goes on to represent India in the pinnacle of sports, the Olympics. Look at the kind of inspiration that people can draw from her. I think, as you mentioned, it would be great achievement, not just for Mirabai Chanu, but for the entire region.
True. There are many questions, Rahul. Let's take some. Quite a few for both of us. You take the first one. You mentioned boxing. Tell us the medal hopes for boxers Amit Fangal and Ashish Kumar. What are the prospects of wrestlers Vijay Dahiya and Deepak Punia? You take these two first.
Um, Amit Pangal and Mary Kom, I'm giving them a decent chance. In fact, better for Amit Pangal. Mary Kom, still not sure. An outside chance. Then, as far as the wrestling is concerned, uh, in order, if you say, I would put Vinesh as the brightest of prospects. Bajrang has a very strong
When you
chance.
said Bajrang, Rahul, there is a question for you. What is the status of Bajrang's injury? Tell us about it.
I spoke the day he got injured. I spoke to him. I messaged him. In fact, he was in Russia. I messaged him. His reply was, भाई गेम है, चलता रहता है. But I was a little upset also with the fact that he's been working a lot on his defense, especially his leg defense, because he was always an attacking wrestler. People would say that he's got a stamina of perhaps an ox, but it was his defense that was weak, so he worked on it, and he was fairly successful also. But so close to the Olympics, to his maiden Olympics, and he was competing left, right, and center, anywhere and everywhere. So I found it a little risky also. But I didn't, to be very honest, I didn't ask him. I didn't say that you should not have done this. It's a combat sport. You should not have competed in those many events. I don't know why I refrained myself from saying this, but still, because I thought the injury has happened now, there's no point saying or advising anybody. I'm sure he has better advisors around him, but he is fine. That's what he says, and we'll see, because he's a very, because the category in which he's competing, that's a
Very
65
tough.
kg weight category, and it is loaded. It is loaded with world champions and Olympic champions. Bajrang, he said about his category that it is one category where no wrestler
Back to
has
back.
ever won
Yeah.
any has ever defended his world championship title or an Olympic medal. And also, champions from 61 kg category have also migrated to 65, and a few of the 66 kg category, in which Sushil Kumar used to compete, in which he won the two Olympic medals. They have also moved to this particular category. But Bajrang, I still feel he has it in him to win an Olympic medal. 2013, when he won the first World Championship medal, and today is 2011. Imagine it's
21.
been, imagine it is 9 years. We know Bajrang for such a long time. Still, it is so surprising that it is his first Olympics. He's already got a Khel Ratna. He's got every award that a sports athlete or a sports person can win in India. But still, it is his first Olympics. So his is a difficult category. But I still believe that Bajrang is likely to win a medal, and an outside chance I'll give to Ravi Dhaiya, who also comes from that Chhatrasal Stadium, is a Delhi boy, so he also has an outside chance.
I agree with Bajrang. I mean, I absolutely agree with you on Bajrang. Shalini Balagopal, chances in swimming, no. But the two qualifying in the A category for once is terrific for Indian swimming. Sania's chances, no chance. It's more a participation thing, and we are being brutally candid here. That's what it is. Sania and Ankita, wish them the best. They were in the same flight. I don't give them a medal chance, but it's more a participation thing. Gaurav was just watching. 24th July, 4 medals. Wow, 4 medals, Green Room says. Nice. Okay. What is this? Celeb Karthik Chaudhary. Rahul sir, you were on the street. Rahul sir, you were on the street. How can you be on the street? You can't break quarantine.
No, I didn't. So we got a 10-minute window, and so because I also got a little bored, and whatever I did not break any of the protocols or guidelines laid down by the organizing committee or the International Olympic Committee. I just went out for 10 minutes. In fact, I've been asking Boreda also to go out and I don't know what you did. I did 10 minute kuch nahi fark padta. You are going out and you're coming back
Nah,
in 10 minutes.
nah.
Don't touch anything. Don't.
I have not let Anilava, who's with me as well in his room, and you were also about to say, I will go and get my SIM card. Folks, Rahul was not allowed to
You.
go. So he put it as, if in the hotel lobby there is this form which he did. He asked me as
Yes.
well, उसने भरा. वो 10 मिनट के लिए गया था, but वो मेरे से पूछ रहा था, should I go and get my SIM card? I said, मत जाओ. No
Uh,
breaking of quarantine. We haven't broken a single protocol. And that one that you are
yes.
talking about, he had to give his sample. We did not even go to the MPC because we did not want to break protocol. And I'm making that amply clear. Uh, Thinking of double digit 10 years back was unthinkable. True. Absolutely. Shalini Balagopal is asking about Manu Bhakar's chances, Rahul. What do you think?
Mm, she has a chance, but I don't know if she has a chance in individual event, but uh, mixed team event, she surely has more than just a chance.
Okay, Rahul, give me a sense. Will Japan, what is this? Atharv Agarwal. Will Japan showcase anything special at the opening ceremony?
Sorry, come again.
Will Japan showcase anything special at the opening ceremony?
Special in the sense, the kind of delegation that was invited here is not going to be the same that we saw in Rio. I'm told, in fact, we believe that French President Emmanuel Macron is going to be here, and so would the
American
US
First
first,
Lady Jill Biden.
yes, Jill Biden. Plus, I think somebody actually backed out also. The one who was supposed to produce the entire event, he has also backed out. If I'm not wrong, you correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
Uh,
because of bullying charges. I mean, bullying
yes,
charges on some disabled athletes. But what is
right.
interesting on the opening ceremony front, Rahul, is whether the king, the emperor, actually uses. And by the way,
Mm,
1964, it was his grandfather. 1998 Winter Olympics, it was his father. And now 2021, it is the current ruler of Japan. Whether or not he uses the word celebration, from what we were reading or what I know, he might not use the word celebration, which will be a first in the history of the Olympic Games. So clearly, this is a COVID edition of the Olympic Games. That, for one, will stand out. And we've got to see how protocols are maintained tomorrow in the opening ceremony, Rahul.
absolutely, and it's such a coincidence. When Tokyo won this bid, they had projected these Olympics as recovery Olympics or healing because of what had happened a couple of years before. In 2011, there was a massive earthquake and tsunami that followed. So they lost around 20,000 people. And imagine the time in which it is happening. At that point in time, they would not have thought that the times in which these Olympics will be held would be, times like these, the COVID, where already millions of lives have lost.
True, and for us also it's historic, because by the time it's Paris in 24, the world would have moved past COVID, because the vaccination would have obviously
Hopefully,
taken over. Yeah, I mean, no pandemic has ever lasted 4 years. I mean, even if it does, we will be close to managing it. It would have become endemic rather than becoming continuing as a pandemic. So this is a unique Olympics in every sense, and that's what I'm. There are several more questions. That's what I'm actually looking forward to in the opening ceremony. Why does Vikrant ignore non-cricket sports? He doesn't, Vignesh. He doesn't. I mean, Vikrant would have loved to come. He had his accreditation done for Rio as well. Let's make it clear. I'll get Vikrant to Paris. Rahul, me, and Vikrant, all of us will travel to Paris. No, he absolutely does not ignore non-cricket sports. Any surprising medal in athletics? Rahul, are you giving Neeraj a chance? Today, the German guy has clearly said Neeraj will not able to beat me, and that fellow might even throw 97 and break the world record.
absolutely. I think Johannes Vetter, you can actually you can actually, just give him the medal right away. Johannes Vetter from Germany. Neeraj Chopra, everybody is claiming that he has a chance. In fact, he has a chance, but it will be very, 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 very difficult for him to win a medal. If you see the season's best rankings or throws also, he's fourth on the list behind Vetter. And then the Polish guy, and then the one from Trinidad and Tobago,
Tobago.
Walcott.
Walter. Yeah.
Walcott. So Neeraj is 88.06. So actually, I was very interested. I was fascinated how he would perform when he moved out of Patiala, when he went out of the country, quite recently. So he hasn't done too bad though. But still, I think it will be very, very
86.79 was quite good.
80, 88.07. Yeah,
No,
.07.
that was Patiala, but
Yes, Patiala.
86.79 in Finland.
Yes,
In
yes.
Finland,
Al-
that throw was a decent throw when he came
Although
third.
although the scores in Olympics would be much less, because the medals would be won maybe at around a gold medal. Of course, Vetter, we all don't know what he's going to throw. As you said, he might end up with that world record. But I don't know. Silver and bronze. What kind of throws would fetch a silver or a bronze?
Okay, last few minutes on the show. Trisha, who's our colleague, who actually has saved us with all the paperwork, she's asking you,
Absolutely.
Rahul, what are we getting for her from Japan?
Trisha, we'll get you something very, very special, because right now we are in quarantine. We can't move out, so we haven't even checked out what exactly can be bought, can be taken back home, and but surely something, because you deserve it. Not that because these Olympics, if they are going to be difficult, hard, entertaining, fascinating, anything for us, they'll be as hard. You'll have to work as hard as perhaps. What we are going to do here. And
True.
surely, so you will deserve anything and
Yeah,
something that we get for you.
among other things, we will also take back a COVID testing kit,
Oh,
including the
yes.
barcode. We must have
अरे
it. Show. दिखाओ यार
अरे
राहुल, दिखाओ. हाँ, दिखाओ सबको.
मैं मैं तो पूरा, see, this is what Trisha gifted us. So these are okay. So I let me tell them what exactly happened. So these are those plastic tubes
हाँ,
or
डेमो
vials.
कर दो, एक पूरा डेमो कर दो.
अरे नहीं, क्या आप यहाँ
नहीं नहीं
पे वो
नहीं नहीं, सुनो, थूको मत, बाकी
पेरेंटल
बाकी कर दो.
पेरेंटल गाइडेंस लिखना पड़ेगा. हाँ, सो दिस इज दी, हाँ, त्रिशा ने वैसे भी ज्यादा ऑर्डर करे थे. सो दिस इज दैट प्लास्टिक ट्यूब और वायल that you have. So what you need to do is you need to spit into this tube up until here. Just shut it down, shut it, and this is the paper. So this is the QR code. You just have to scan it with your phone, and suddenly you go to a website. Then you have these. You have another sheet where you have I don't know where I kept them. So you have the barcodes. So you just put a barcode around this tube or vial and give it to the sample collection officer. Or because we can't go, those who can, they go to the MPC, the main press center, and submit it over there. And we don't wait for any report. Trust me, because if you get a report,
Then you're gone.
that's not a good thing. If you don't get a report, that is something that you should be happy about, because they give you a report only in case you are positive.
Correct. The last couple of minutes on the show, plenty of questions, views on top scheme. Boryada, Rahul, tell us about the food arrangements there. Please don't tell us you have to eat raw fish, sushi. By the way, output, I love my sushi. So does Rahul. So there's no question that we love our sushi, but there's plenty of other food options as well. Chalo Rahul, last ek le lo tum. What Tejas Shankar, top scheme, Sports Duck West. Okay, Rahul, chalo, last that cardinal question to you. Because we are at the start of the games, मुझे double digit दे रहे हो कि नहीं दे रहे?
Mm, आ सकते हैं. I'm saying India can, but will they? I doubt.
But London दे रहे हो? 6 दे रहे हो?
As I said, will depend on how you perform on the first day. A couple of medals, you might end up winning 6 medals, but somewhere around London, you should get.
Okay, so somewhere around London is what Rahul is saying. I'm saying we'll definitely top London. We'll top London, and this will be our best games because Rahul's first Olympics.
So,
How can I take him back to India without winning our best ball? That
absolutely.
will be unfortunate then.
Ajay,
Keep.
those who
हाँ, बोलो.
cover Olympics, they also get a medal, right?
Yes, you do. So you will have to go to the main press center, take your certificate and take your medal.
Okay.
That will be your medal for having covered the Olympics. The certificate is an International Olympic Committee certificate certifying Rahul Rawat has covered the COVID edition of the Tokyo Games. So you'll get that.
So,
You'll absolutely
so,
get that.
so anybody, whether somebody wins a medal or not, we are going home with a medal.
We are. No,
Although
Sports Today,
I would
Sports
want,
Tuck, India Today and Aaj Tak and Sports Tuck will go with a medal because I promise you all,
the coverage.
Every story will be broken here. Every story. By the way, the opening ceremony story was also ours. It was our idea also. So every story will be broken here, either by Rahul or by me or by our team. So keep following the two of us. We are from day after morning, we are everywhere. Any Indian
Absolutely.
medal hunt, Rahul and I will be there. We promise you that. On that note, so thank you very much for supporting us. Keep following us on Twitter, on Instagram. Watch our broadcast, support us on Sports Today, and of course, Sports Duck. Watch the two of us. And Rahul's made an Olympics. So made an Olympics, he's lucky. He's not a casino goer, but he's very lucky for India. Thank you very much, Rahul. Have dinner
Thank
and
you.
सो जाओ यार. तुम अभी भी jet lagged हो. कल मिलते नहीं, कल तो मिल नहीं सकते. फोन पे बात होगा सवेरे in the morning. Take care.
मैं
and
आ
all the
जाता
very
हूँ
best.
मिलने, मैं आ
नहीं
जाता
नहीं
हूँ।
एकदम मत आओ, एकदम मत आओ. परसों सवेरे जो मिलना है मिलो, कल एकदम निकलो मत. One more day in quarantine. Thank you very much for watching.
Okay, see you. Thank you.